It's about 5:30 p.m. on October 6th, 2016, and we're about 3 hours away from getting our butts handed to us by Hurricane Matthew. So what I'm doing right now is doing some before shots of what these palms look like before the carnage hits. We're probably going to get winds over 100 miles an hour for about 5 hours between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. according to the latest numbers, and those 100 mile an hour could be 115, it could be more, I'm not sure. I sure hope not, but anyway. So royal palm, coconut palm, that's a Sagres amara. It's a Caribbean basin palm. I have a feeling that thing will be fine. There's a Carpentaria in there, Beccaria phoenix fenestralis, Heterospadia alata, Veitchia ericina and Joannis. I think it's still Ericina, it might be a different name. Some Coca Thrynax and Thrynaxy things. So, and I'll show you a couple other things. And of course, about 14, 15 hours or more, when it's possible to be outside again and the winds are below 60 miles an hour, I'll come out and we'll take a look at the aftermath here. Veitchia spiralis, there's a Sagres coronata, my egg fruit tree. There's my teddy bear palm, Dipsas leptocheilos. I have a feeling that poor thing's going to be stripped down to nothing, but it'll recover. Hopefully we won't have a horrible winter this year. I'll get my foxtail pre-hurricane with rain coming down. That thing's going to look a whole lot different in about 14 hours. So it's a little after first light. About 20 after 7, the 7th of October, and do a little quick look while things are still hot and heavy. It's still pretty windy out here right now. I probably shouldn't even be walking around. Stuff might still be flying around, but anyway, not as bad as I thought. Sea grapes obviously took a dive, so I'll do some more shooting when the wind and rain slow up a little bit. I just wanted to come out here and take a quick look initially. You can see my egg fruit kind of took the whole thing personally, so I'll have to tie it off to somebody else here and prop that thing back up because it's really loaded with fruit, so I don't want it to get stressed out, so I can have me plenty of egg fruit here in a little bit. My Macaranga was not impressed at all with this either. Big surprise though. Big fat leaves on that thing. Foxtail came through good. Looks fairly happy, complete. This X matiform's a little bent, not too bad, but the teddy bear took it personally, and I knew that. It happens every time we have a hurricane. So it'll probably take about a year or so before this thing looks good again. But, you know, hopefully we won't have a harsh winter. That was a thought going through my mind as this storm was coming. That Tuckeri looks good, Arcana phoenix Tuckeri. Polyandrococcus, or no, I'm sorry, that's now Oligoptera. Not too bad, considering it's not really, I don't think it's from an area where they get a lot of tropical cyclones and so forth. So anyway, there's a teddy bear, rough shape. What else? It's a Tychosperma there. Triangle looks good. So all in all, minimal hurricane. We didn't get really high winds. I think maybe 75, 80 at the most. But we were really fortunate not to get the full brunt of that storm. I think I'd be showing you a lot more damage. So we did fairly well. Anyway, just a quick look at before and after. Well, not necessarily quick. My egg fruit tree took a beating. I've got a rope tied to it. It was leaning almost halfway down, and I lost a couple of fruit, which is kind of a bummer. This thing's got maybe a dozen or more fruit on it that'll be ready in about 2 months. This coronata did okay. There's some leaves that are bent out on it. That Veitchia is fine. It didn't even really, I was worried about that one. It's lost a couple of leaves, but no big deal. So yeah, this egg fruit was not pleased. So it's a little over a week after that storm, and it came through our area as a Cat 1. The conditions were Cat 1, so we didn't really get a whole lot. I don't know if I mentioned that in any other clips. I've been working like a rented mule the last week, so I can't remember what I've been doing or anything. So anyway, this was the shot I took before the storm, and so we're just looking at everything afterwards, and there's no real discernible major damage. There's a leaf down on that royal. This Ornocensus took a little offense to the whole thing. It's bent pretty hard, but the Amara did fine. That Beccari Phoenix did all right. The Heterospade did good. That crown on that sable's leaning just a little bit. We'll look at a couple other things that I showed before the storm started. All these Caribbean Basin palms did fine. But again, it was only 75, 80 mile an hour winds, so it wasn't really anything to do major destruction. Oh, you know what? I had that, bear with me for a second, by the Alligoptera caudescens in the beginning. And we'll show you what that thing did. It bent some of the leaves on it, which isn't surprising. You can see some of that got pulled down, and there's a Dipsis madagascariensis back there, and the newest leaf got bent on that one. But yeah, so a little bit of mechanical damage. I had another shot of this teddy bear. You'll see it from a different angle here. That thing definitely took a beating, but it's got new stuff coming out. It'll be fine in 5-6 months. You'll barely notice. Even that there's an Arcana Phoenix Cunninghamiana. One of the leaves in the direction that the wind was coming from is stripped. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, that was where the wind was coming from for the most part, north, northeast, and then switched out to the west as it was heading up.